channel, and if you're new, hey, what's up? My name is Tanya, and thank you all so much for joining in and watching this video. As usual, there will be timestamps listed down below, so feel free to jump around this video, and please hit that subscribe button. It seriously means the world to me. Now, this video shout out goes to Alicia. No, it's Alicia Marie. Alicia, thank you so much for all of your really sweet comments, for hitting that subscribe button, for becoming a part of the Fawn fam, Fawn squad, Fawn community. It is so incredible to have such an amazing girl be a part of this. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your heartfelt comments, for being so genuine and just so loving and amazing and being interactive, because the more interaction that goes on, the more my channel grows, the more it gets popped up on the recommended videos on the site on YouTube, and it's just, you know, everything helps. Likes, even dislikes help. Everything helps. So thank you so much. It really means everything, and especially your time. And that goes without saying for everybody who takes the time to watch my videos and comment, but time, comment, either one or both, either and what, or you guys got the point. It really means everything to me. Now, this video is on Kat Von D's new Metal Matte Mini Eyeshadow Palette. Look how fun the packaging is. Even though I got so beat up in my last Kat Von D eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna be real again. Now, I cannot recommend her new metal highlighting palette enough. I cannot currently find it. I am in the process of doing a major, and I mean major, overhaul of my beauty room and trying to create a storage room-ish in the second living room that's open. So we've had to actually made these acrylic walls so the dogs can't go over on that side, and I have box after box after box after box. If you saw the floors in here right now, I know I got the request to do an updated video or beauty room tour. It can't happen right now, but when I'm all cleaned up and organized, I will do it. And Blake, yes, one of my besties I can collab with. I'm going to hit him up next time I am in LA. The problem is, one, he lives in LA, and two, his primary focus is Instagram. He's got over 150,000 Instagram followers, and he's a smaller YouTube channel. He's still bigger than me because he's over well, last I checked, he was over 5,000. He may be over 50,000 by now. I haven't looked at his numbers, but he's like an Insta star more than anything, but I could still figure out a way to collab with him, so I'm hoping that I can. I know I'm jumping all over the place. Dina, I'm wearing the new lip gloss that you sent me. Thank you so much. But back to Kat Von D. So that highlighting palette, I wanted to re-show it to you guys. I do have a mini video on it. It truly is amazing, and I would pick that up if you were debating on something Kat Von D this season. This I find to be gimmicky. The quality of the eyeshadows and the quality of the palette and the packaging really are amazing. So I have no issues at all with the shadows this time. Last time my shadows were patchy, they were dry, they didn't swatch well, there wasn't enough pigmentation. This time around, they are beautifully pigmented, they swatch really well, they're so creamy. The metallics almost have that wet metallic creamy feel to them. It is not an all-encompassing palette, which to me defeats the purpose of having a mini palette. A mini palette should be one that you can kind of toss in your purse or your overnight bag and go. I was able to create this look using just this palette, but I think you're very, very limited, because I did use these transition shades, and then I used this metallic, and then I wanted to do a little bit of a transformer shade, so I popped on Thunderstruck over top of it. So, I mean, it's possible, but you know, these transition shades wouldn't necessarily work well with every shade, and same with Feather. Like, I feel like Feather would be beautiful with Flash, but not so much with all of the shades. Like, it's a very odd color selection to me, and honestly, like, I laughed because I have Thunderstruck sitting right here, and I didn't realize it was in the palette. The only shade that blew me away was the purple, Velvet. Like, I think I'm going to return this and just probably pick up Velvet, or maybe not even Velvet, because I have plenty of Juvia's Place palettes that have deep, delicious purples like this. ColourPop. I'll have a timestamp for it. I was able to dupe this palette using 2 ColourPop palettes, and you get you know, you get 10 shades in here. With the ColourPop, you would get 24 shades if you bought both palettes, and it would be $32 for 24 shades flat. No fees and shipping, no extra taxes, it's all worked in, where this one is $39 plus tax, plus shipping, depending on your status at Sephora, depending on what Kat Von D has going on. So this is really pricey for 10 shades, and for it to not be an all-encompassing palette, I don't feel that it's worth it. It's not something I feel that I can recommend to you guys. I feel like I would be doing an injustice saying, like, you guys, you need to go pick up this palette. I don't feel like that's the case. It does perform well. It's just not well-rounded enough. You need too many other additional palettes, and it wasn't inspiring. When I swatched it, I was staring at it, I'm like, I've been there, done that so many times now. Like, this is just been there, done that. I've seen these shades over and over and over again for a much more affordable price point that performs just as well, if not better. And I had to jazz it up by adding in all of this extra glitter and extra purple liner and, you know, dramatic falsies, and I did the big hair, and I did like this big highlight. Like, I had to do so much because the look was so blah. I'm not a fan. I think it's gimmicky. I think it's just in time for the holidays to try to, like, sneak in another palette, make some more buck, you know, get some more consumer hype for the brand. If I'm just being real, I love Kat Von D products. I really do. I just don't see the use in this palette unless you don't have any Kat Von D palettes and you want to get your feet wet, you want to test the formula, you know, that kind of thing, then this might be good for you. But it's just so expensive for 10 shades that are so repeats. And I'm not just talking repeats of Kat Von D shades, I'm talking repeats from, you know, as affordable as ColourPop. So just why? So that's my issue with this one. I feel like it was a slide it in time for the holidays to make some extra bucks, and consumers are gonna buy it up. Hardcore Kat Von D collectors are going to want it in their collection. I know when I have OCD, I want everything in my collection. And I was that way with Kat Von D for a while until a couple of disappointments. And now my OCD has let it go. And now I've realized I don't need every Kat Von D palette that comes out. I'm at that point now where the brand has kind of let me down a couple of times, and a couple of times with so many brands on the market makes my OCD not be like, you need every single palette. Like, I'm at that point with a few brands like Viseart, Natasha Denona for high-end, Pat McGrath, and then on like the lower spectrum, you know, BH, ColourPop. There's just Juvia's Place where I'm like, I'm still at that point where I need every palette. They haven't let me down, and I don't know that they ever will. So Anyway, if you guys want to look at the timestamps down below in case you're interested in just certain parts of it, or if you guys want to stay tuned to see swatches, see the comparison, dupe swatches, see how to get this eye look, just see everything in action, then just keep on watching. Alright, here's the new Kat Von D Metal Matte Mini Eyeshadow Palette! I was so bummed because I wanted to film with this a few days ago. I've had it for a couple of days now. This is what it looks like on the back. Just a quick little... I'll probably say it in the intro. I always have such a hard time on whether or not, because this is like my starting point is now, and then the intro is technically the very end of my video. But I had to make a really hard decision because I was supposed to go on a family vacation with my mom and dad to Hawaii this Christmas for 10 days. But Luby has taken a turn for the worst, and he is more sickly than I'd like him to be, and so I discussed it with the vets, and I said I'm not comfortable leaving him behind. I was hysterical yesterday and the day before. Like, I mean, I couldn't stop, like, crying. I was hyperventilating. I was a disaster, because I felt like I was letting my parents down. I want to spend Christmas and New Year's with my parents, you know, so much, right down to like the cost that's associated with it, which they're telling me, you know, like they understand he's my baby. You know, my dogs are my kids. 'Cause if any of you are newly tuning in, I can't have biological children. I am blessed with 2 beautiful stepgirls, but I've grown up since I was 21, and I'm almost 32, knowing that I can't have kids, so my dogs have been my kids. So I made the decision to cancel the trip and stay behind with him, because the stress of me leaving him could actually put him into a downward spiral where he could end up dying, because he's so attached to me and he is sickly, and there are just way too many variables and things that could go wrong. So I've been a hot mess, and I don't want to start crying. I just like to keep you guys updated, you know that. So that's what's been going on with me. Okay, so makeup, happy time. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's been going on. So you get, it doesn't even say too much on here. Okay, as usual, Kat Von D is a cruelty-free and vegan brand, and we are just going to hop right into it because it just says the shade names on the back. There's little stars. I love these little touches. Isn't it like these little things that just make such a difference? Like, I love. All right. Ooh. Hello. That's gorgeous. And the back is beautiful. The back is like way prettier on this. I know you get to kind of see the shades-ish on that, but I'm living for the palette packaging on the back. Oh my god, you get Thunderstruck. I literally have Thunderstruck sitting right here because I like to top that on my lip gloss sometimes. Yeah. But it is a little bit messy, and there's a little bit of pink lip gloss, so this is my designated lip gloss, and it's nice that I will now have a clean Thunderstruck. Alright, let's get into this. Oh my gosh, this is really pretty, and like, nice size mirror. And this will give you guys like, oh, I love the satisfaction for me when a palette folds over. I can't begin to tell you, because I love to just like dip and keep working. Like, this just gives me the greatest satisfaction when palettes folds over. But damn, like, okay, we have Thunderstruck, but Flash looks so insanely gold and pigmented. I'm so drawn into Flash and Raw. My finger just went into the matte shade. Raw Power. Those are so beautiful. And I don't know if this is quite enough matte shades to give you a full look in this palette. I don't think... My boys! I don't think that this will be an all-encompassing palette. I wish that there were a couple extra matte shades to make it an all-encompassing palette, so I might just go grab one of her palettes so that way we can make, yeah, I'll swatch all of this, but on its face, I don't think it will be an all-encompassing palette, but it is really, really beautiful. So that's what she looks like. I'm gonna get to swatching and I will be right back. All right, these shades, the formula is amazing. They are so ridiculously smooth. The metallics have like that wet feeling smooth. The mattes are ridiculously pigmented with the exception of Feather, which I expected to be a light flush of yellow, and Suede, I really could not build up the intensity I was hoping to. I kept swatching and swatching and swatching. I'm not blown away, you guys. This isn't really giving me too much inspiration, unfortunately. I do love all of the shades. I just feel like, with the exception of Velvet, which is an incredibly pigmented purple, like she nailed that purple. It's probably just me because I have so many palettes, but I do feel like been there, done that. You'll see my swatches in a second. So you can see that the metallics are beautiful. I'm just starting to feel like, I don't know if I need to start being more choosy on what I'm reviewing on this channel, because I really feel like I have just recently swatched all of these metallics over and over and over again, and honestly in like color pop. So I don't know, I mean, they're beautiful. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with them. Like, I'm not saying there's anything. They are gorgeous, but it might just be because I'm always buying so many palettes to review for you. But if you guys don't have these kind of shades, they really are stunning shades. So we'll start with the metallics. We have Thunderstruck, Flash, Doce, D-O-C-E, Synergy, and Raw Power. And then for the mattes, we have Bone, Feather, Suede, Oak, and Velvet. Now, I didn't look into it, but a lot of these are sounding familiar, so I feel like she has these shades in a bunch of other palettes, or these have just been pulled from maybe the full-size metal palette, but I don't know, and I'm sorry, I'm just not wowed. It is a really pretty palette, and I'd recommend you guys probably picking this up if you don't have these shades, but unless you're a die-hard Kat Von D collector, I don't see the point in picking this up if you already have these shades, that's all. And I know I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but I have to keep it real, and I honestly just, yeah, feel like I've seen it so many times before. All right, I'm gonna go prep and prime my eyes, and I will be right back. So I'm just going to take some of the Bone shade. I don't usually do that, but I really want to try to stick to this palette as much as possible. And taking this Luxie 235 brush, I am just going to dust this all over the lid. I have already set my lid. I always set it with the Kat Von D translucent setting powder because I'm extra. And I love how that just locks down the primer so well. But because there are not too many matte shades, I will throw down this Bone shade just for one more matte shade to help with the transitions. All right, taking my KVD E31, I'm going to dip into Suede and start building the crease and above. Actually, I'm also going to take it on the outer corner because I think I'm going to do a metallic into a matte today. So you can build this shade up, but not as much as I would like to. I've like packed it on now, so this is really as intense as you're going to be able to get it. Now taking my Moda Pro crease brush, I'm going to go into Oak. That one is very pigmented, so I do want to start off with a very light hand and build this one up in intensity. Now taking my Marc Jacobs the crease brush, I'm going to dip into Velvet, and then I will be switching to my Esom T37 brush. Yes, right afterwards to sweep it out this way. Now I'm going to do a partial cut crease, so taking my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, I'm going to put a pump on the back of my hand. That was a bigger pump than I wanted to. And taking my Sigma Cut Crease E62 brush, I'm going to dip it on both sides of the brush, and then I'm going to work my way from the base upward. And taking my MAC 242, I'm going to dip into Synergy and pack that on. I'm going to go do the other eye, and then I'm going to come back and transform the darker shade by putting Thunderstruck over top of it and seeing what that looks like. So I'll be right back. Now taking my MAC 242, I'm going to dip into Thunderstruck. Get a nice coat of that. Milani her up. And it's just enough to kind of, oh, I'm out of focus. Sorry. That's just enough to kind of brighten the inner corner a little bit, fade into the bronze, and then out into the dark purple. I was debating on like going there and putting on this color to really like make it pop, but I don't know if that's taking too much of a risk. This is just so blah. I'm not feeling this palette, you guys. It's just not enough to it. And Yes Way Rosé matches perfectly. So I don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I want to give it like potential pizzazz that could be a disaster, or if I want to just keep it a neutral eye for today. You guys know I like color. I think I'm just going to stick with Yes Way Rosé. This is the Too Faced Peel Off Glitter Pop Peel Off Liner, and do a half cut crease. A little more than half cut crease, more like 2/3. Why do I keep going out of focus? Jeez. Alright, so I finished up my face, and I actually came up with dupes for this palette because I told you guys I keep seeing these same shades over and over and over again, and I do feel like this is a great palette if you are being like newly introduced to Kat Von D, but at the same time, it's $39 before taxes on Sephora, and unless you have VIB, unless you're Rouge or you've paid for flash shipping, you then also have to pay for shipping unless you're getting other items. And then Kat Von D, I'm not sure what her minimum is, but you have to take shipping and taxes into account as well. So this little mini $39 palette to me, I think that if there is just like one or two shades that are really speaking to you, just buy those shades individually. I don't think that this is worth $40 plus. I really don't. So I did dupe it out for the most part. I didn't dupe these 3 shades because they are so light that those are found in like every palette, like bone shades and those light shades, but I did want to dupe these guys out for you guys, so I did it as best as I could. Now it does take 2 ColourPop palettes to get a dupe for this one, but with ColourPop you're getting 12 colors in each palette. So if you are trying to completely replicate this metal palette, you're getting 24 shades if you want to buy both of these palettes versus 10, so 10 to 24. That's huge. This would also run you, these are $16 a piece, so this would be $32, and that would be flat. They don't charge you shipping once you hit 30, and they don't add in more taxes. It's already pre-calculated. So you could get 2 palettes for $32, 24 shades, and not only would you have pretty damn close dupes, you'd also have so many other beautiful shades, and I've done tutorials on both of these palettes. So you would need to get the Femme Rosa, the Karashi times ColourPop collab, and the I Think I Love You palette in order to pull it off. ColourPop is also having a sale on their palettes right now, so I am going to show you the dupes, and you even get like a black in the I Think I Love You. The dark brown isn't quite as dark brown as the Kat Von D, but if you mix a little bit of black with the dark brown, you can get it pretty damn close. And this gold is slightly more gold than Kat Von D's, but still at the price point, I don't think you can beat it. And then you do have that really light transition shade, which is really close to Kat Von D's that I didn't swatch out that I told you is such a light color. So you do have that as well, and all these other beautiful metallic shades too. So that one is amazing. And then the She palette has a purple tone in here that is so close as well. And then if you mix putting this one down as a base with this shade over top of it, that ends up being a dupe for this shade from the Kat Von D palette. And the purple one isn't an exact dupe, but again, if you mix a little bit of black, it will get you that deeper color. The browns are almost identical. The two different bronzes are so close. These guys are so close, and these two are so close as well. And then that was from the She palette too. So I'm going to give you guys a zoom in on my arm so you can actually see it up close. But I mean, $39 for 10 shades versus, why do I keep having a hard time? $32 for 24 shades. And I actually find these easier to work with, and I'm so much happier with my eye looks when I use these. So I just want to give you guys alternative options. I had actually pulled out a handful of my ColourPop palettes. Like there's these guys and other ones, but I didn't need to. I had to just dabble into 2 palettes to get dupes without going into like singles, because I just thought that this is such a good value. So let me zoom you guys in really quickly. So you can, sorry for the one that ended up kind of in my elbow crease, but you can see how damn close these are. I did Kat Von D first and then ColourPop all the way. Kat Von D, ColourPop, Kat Von D, ColourPop. So, I mean, these are pretty damn close. And for the price difference and how many extra shadows you would be getting, I don't feel right recommending the Kat Von D palette at all. I really don't. I think I'm going to return mine because I can't ever see myself reaching for this. I'm just disappointed in the looks. It's not an all-encompassing palette. It is to create like the look I just did, but it's a very limited all-encompassing palette. Like you can barely create full looks with it. So I think I'm going to be sending it back, and I just wanted to show you guys this. Alright, and as usual, everything I used on my face will be listed down below, but I do have a few things to go over with you guys. It was driving me crazy with how plain this eye look was, so I did take some Urban Decay Razor Sharp Longwear Liquid Eyeliner in the shade Ecstasy and did a double wing with this purple. I love these so much. And then I did pop on the Too Faced, this is that crazy purple iridescent one in Fairy Queen, just on the edge of the wing to make it almost like a triple wing, but I kind of layered them more than did a triple wing when it came time for the wing. So I did add these on. And my blush is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop blusher, and it's in the shade Sex on Fire. I wanted to keep it in that mauve-y realm. I also tested out in a mini video the new Lime Crime Angels highlight palette, and it is such an appropriate name. These shades are so angelic. It's what's on my face, and it is so beautiful. This is definitely my favorite highlighting palette from Lime Crime so far. So now I'm going to zoom you guys in, and we're going to finish up this lower lash line. Starting with my Wayne Goss number 20 brush, I'm going to dip into Suede and smoke that beneath the lower lash line. Now taking my MAC 212, I'm going to dip into Oak and get that nice and tight to the lower lash line. Now taking my Luxie 111, I'm going to dip into a Velvet and smoke that beneath the lower lash line. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope that this was helpful for you guys if you were hemming and hawing on this palette and just like really torn up about whether or not you like need this in your lives, because I honestly don't think it's one of those palettes that you need. I really feel like if you're eyeshadow palette collectors, you're going to have these shades already, and this is not a palette that you can just take one and done and be done. For traveling, you know, you're going to need other palettes to go along with it. So it's not a solution for a weekend getaway, because unless you're into just, you know, not having a gradient effect of building up the eyeshadows, you know, and that's perfectly fine. If you're somebody who likes to do your makeup with like one transition shade and like bam metallic, then, you know, everybody can do their makeup how they want, and then maybe this palette is for you. It just isn't for me. I like the gradient. I like the building of different transition shades and scaling down and scaling down and scaling down, and this palette just isn't doing it for me. So that does it for this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it or found it helpful. Please share it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, good night, good morning, wherever you are. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.